Phainon is finally here, and let me tell you, they're not just another physical DPS. This character is a complete battlefield reset button. The hype is real, and it's for good reason. Phainon introduces a totally unique mechanic to Honkai, Star Rail, centered around something called the memory system. And once they hit their limit, they unleash a transformation called Kronos Ruin Iron Tomb, taking over the field, kicking allies off, and going on an unstoppable solo rampage. If you like high-risk, high-reward units with a playstyle that completely changes the pace of combat, Phainon is going to be your next obsession. Before we dive into the full kit breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check the description below. You can save up to 25% on banners using Loot Bar. It's fast, safe, and I use it myself for giveaways and top-ups. Now, let's jump in. So who exactly is Phainon? Phainon is a physical damage dealer, but don't let that simple label fool you. They're not your average point-and-click DPS. Phainon's role is all about tactical domination. We're talking battlefield control, pressure, and tempo, all packed into one unit. Think of them less like a damage dealer and more like a solo boss that just happens to be on your team. Their entire kit revolves around a unique memory system, and when they build up enough, boom, they activate their transformation. Kronos Ruin Iron Tomb. Yeah, it sounds like a metal album, and honestly, it plays just as hard. In this form, Phainon clears the field of allies and takes control of the fight entirely, stacking buffs, locking enemies into a new weakness, and unleashing a sequence of uninterrupted, brutal turns. If you like characters that flip the script and take over, this is the unit for you. Let's dive into how Phainon actually plays, and trust me, it's more layered than it first appears. We'll start with the basic attack. This is your bread and butter. It deals single target physical damage and gives you 1 point of memory. Now, that might not sound super flashy, but it's the foundation of Phainon's entire playstyle. Every action builds memory, and memory is everything. Next up is the skill. This one's already looking stronger. It hits your main target with physical damage, and it also deals splash damage to adjacent enemies. So if you're dealing with clustered mobs, this is huge. Plus, it gives you 2 memory points, so you're doubling your momentum every time you use it. Now, here's where it gets interesting, the talent. Phainon gains memory not just by attacking, but also from being buffed by allies, or even just getting hit. Every time a teammate throws a shield on them, heals them, or uses any ability that applies a buff boom, another memory. And if an enemy lands a hit? Yep, more memory. This makes Phainon an interactive unit. They're not off in their own world like some selfish DPS units. They actually benefit from team synergy. The more your team supports Phainon, the faster they ramp up and prepare to transform. And get this, every single time they gain a point of memory, they also get a crit damage boost that lasts for 2 turns. So you're not just building up toward the ultimate, you're getting stronger with every memory point. It's like a ticking time bomb of power. Memory stacks, crit buffs build up, and suddenly you're ready to pop the ultimate and unleash Kronos Ruin Iron Tomb. The design is slick. It rewards smart team building, timing, and rhythm. Phainon doesn't just hit hard, they scale with momentum. And that's what makes their kit feel so unique compared to your typical turn-based bruiser. Now, let's talk about the real showstopper, Phainon's ultimate ability, and their transformation into Kronos Ruin Iron Tomb. Once Phainon builds up 12 memory points, you unlock the ability to transform. And trust me, this isn't just a flashy animation. This is a full-on shift in how the game plays. When the transformation triggers, Phainon enters the Kronos Ruin Iron Tomb state, and everything changes. First, Phainon transforms, gaining crowd control immunity, a big attack boost, increased max HP, and damage reduction. They become a tanky, high-damage force that's incredibly hard to stop. But that's just the beginning. Once Phainon activates this mode, your entire team leaves the battlefield. Yup, it's just Phainon alone. They take over completely. In exchange, every enemy on the field gains physical weakness even if they didn't have it before. This means Phainon can always break through enemy shields, no resistance, no excuses. And here's the wild part. Phainon gets 8 uninterrupted turns. That's right, the enemy can't interrupt, your team doesn't act, and Phainon goes on a rampage. It's like freezing the timeline so Phainon can absolutely dominate. And during those 8 turns, buffs and debuffs stop ticking down. So if Phainon has any active buffs, they stay active the entire time. No countdown, no expiration, just pure, uninterrupted destruction. This territory mode is what makes Phainon so different from other characters. They don't just deal damage, they take over the entire battlefield. You're playing a solo minigame of pure carnage. And if you manage your resources right, it feels incredibly satisfying. But it's not just power for the sake of power, there's strategy, timing, and survival at play here too. And don't you worry, we're about to break down exactly what Phainon can do during those 8 turns. Because the enhanced abilities inside Kronos Ruin Iron Tomb, yeah, they're insane. Alright, now that Phainon's in territory mode, let's talk about what they can actually do during those 8 special turns. Because this isn't just a power-up, it's a complete combat overhaul. Let's start with the enhanced basic attack. This isn't your standard hit. Now it deals splash damage, striking the main target and then spreading the pain to adjacent enemies. On top of that, it generates 2 ruin marks. And ruin marks, they're your new currency while transformed. No skill points here, everything in this mode runs on ruin. Next up is enhanced skill 1, and this one is absolutely wild. It forces all enemies to act immediately. That's right, enemies take their turn right now. Phainon then gains ruin marks based on how many enemies were forced to act. But wait, there's more. Phainon also heals based on their max HP, dispels all debuffs, and enters a counter stance. If any enemy dares to attack Phainon while they're in this stance, boom, Phainon retaliates, hitting all enemies with physical damage. And yes, that counter counts as skill damage, perfect for triggering effects tied to skill-based builds or gear. Now, let's talk about the Big Spender Enhanced Skill 2. This one consumes up to 4 ruin marks, and for each mark used, Phainon unleashes 4 hits of bouncing physical damage. These hits jump between enemies, making it perfect for spreading pain across multiple targets. If you go all in and use 4 marks, you get a bonus hit that spreads damage across every enemy. This one's your boss buster or AoE nuke, depending on how you use it. And finally, the Enhanced Ultimate. This is the grand finale of Territory Mode. It automatically triggers on Phainon's final special turn. It deals massive AoE physical damage, shared among all enemies. Think of it like a last explosion before your team returns. But if Phainon's HP drops too low before the final turn, it will trigger early, but with reduced power. So surviving through the full cycle means maximum damage. These enhanced skills turn Phainon into a one-person army. You're managing ruin marks, choosing between control, healing, burst, and survival, all while the enemy just tries to keep up. Let's take a quick look at Phainon's technique and traces, because even outside of combat, this character brings serious value. First, the technique. When used in the open world, Phainon grants your team +3 max technique points. That's right, more points to use for exploration and pre-battle advantages. And if Phainon approaches basic enemies, they're just instantly defeated. No fight, no hassle, just poof, gone. It's basically a fast pass through trash mobs. But against elite enemies, your whole team gains an energy boost at the start of battle. That means you're jumping into combat with a head start, especially useful for ult-heavy comps. Now let's talk traces. These are passive upgrades that give Phainon even more synergy. The first trace gives Phainon an ATK buff whenever they enter battle or enter the Kronos Ruin transformation. And yes, it can stack up to 2 times. The second trace kicks in when Phainon receives healing or shields from allies. It boosts their damage output, making support synergy even more important. And the third trace? This one's slick. Once per turn, if an ally regenerates energy for Phainon, they gain 1 memory point. That ties directly into their core mechanic, letting you build memory faster with the right energy battery units. So overall, Phainon doesn't just hit hard. They support better team economy, reward good synergy, and stay impactful before, during, and after combat. Now, let's break down Phainon's Eidolons, because if you're thinking about pulling dupes, these might just convince you, starting with Eidolon 1. While transformed, Phainon gains physical resistance penetration, which means their hits slice through enemy defenses. And when they exit territory mode, all allies recover energy, a huge bonus for fast rotation teams. That's value before, during, and after transformation. Next, Eidolon 2, and this one is spicy. If you use Enhanced Skill 2 with 4 ruin marks, Phainon gets an extra turn. Yep, right then and there. It's like chaining moves in a solo combo loop. This lets you push out even more damage before your cycle ends. Eidolon 4 turns defense into offense. It gives a massive boost to counterattack damage from Enhanced Skill 1. That means when Phainon gets hit during that stance, enemies are gonna feel it even harder. And finally, Eidolon 6, the big one. After every attack during territory mode, Phainon deals bonus true damage based on the total damage dealt, targeting the enemy with the highest HP. That's right, every hit deals a little extra, and it's true damage, so it bypasses defenses. Then, when territory mode ends, Phainon gets a chunk of memory refunded, helping you charge up the next transformation faster. These Eidolons aren't just nice-to-haves. They amplify Phainon's entire flow, more energy, more turns, more damage, and faster recovery. If you like big brain burst cycles with insane payoff, yeah, these Eidolons are worth every shard. So what's the final verdict on Phainon? In short, they're a battlefield dominator. Once transformed, Phainon plays like a solo raid boss, clearing out the team, locking enemies into weakness, and going on a brutal 8-turn rampage. They're not just about raw power, though. Phainon thrives on synergy. They work incredibly well with buffers, healers, and energy generators. The more your team supports them, the faster they build memory and the harder they hit. But it's not all upside, there's a real risk versus reward dynamic here. When Phainon enters territory mode, your whole team disappears. So if you mistime it or get caught off guard by a big enemy attack, it could all fall apart. But when it works and you line it all up just right, it feels incredible. Every turn flows into the next, each action building momentum, until you drop that final massive AoE and bring your team back in style. If you enjoy characters that feel powerful, tactical, and reward all-in burst cycles, then Phainon is your kind of unit. So now the big question is Phainon a must-pull for you? Are you into high-risk, high-reward solo playstyles? Do you love units that take over the battlefield and feel like a one-person army? Or are you saving those precious stellar jades for someone else? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and theory crafts. If this breakdown helped you out, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap that bell so you don't miss future updates and guides. And hey, if you're pulling on the Phainon banner or planning for the next one, don't forget to check out Loot Bar. You can save up to 25% when you top up through their site. Just enter your UID and select your server. All purchases go through the official in-game channels, and on your first top-up, you'll even get double Onir shards just like in-game, but cheaper. I use Loot Bar myself for giveaways and top-ups, and with over 50,000 satisfied users, it's the real deal. Hit the link in the description to get started and grab an extra 10% off while you're at it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one!